That is so powerful.
And beautiful.
Well, hey there, guys. We once again are in Yellowstone National Park. This is our second episode on location here. You need to check out that first one if you haven't already. We explored the upper, midway, and lower Geyser Basin areas, including two fan favorites.
Old Faithful and...
She can't remember.
I can't remember.
This was literally just yesterday.
I can't remember.
And that's Grand Prismatic. The very colorful, very memorable Grand Prismatic.
Yeah, it was
we had a
gorgeous.
great day. Check that video out for that other episode. Today we're going to be exploring a different area of the park, and our first stop is here at the Norris Geyser Basin area. But along the way, we did take a few stops to see some interesting sights.
Yeah, we stopped to see Gibbon Falls. It's right off the road. There's a parking lot, and you can just pull off and walk a few feet and see it. It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's a nice little way to start the day off.
Yeah.
And then from there,
we went on to Barrel Spring. It also is right off the road, and it is one of the hottest springs in Yellowstone. And it's kind of neat to see it up close.
yeah, you were right up close personal with that. And of course, there was a massive amount of steam coming out.
It was.
And it was making some kind of threatening noises.
Hissing.
It was. It made me want to move on. I was afraid it was going to attack us, or a dragon was coming out, or
Right.
something like that. And
Then we drove on to the Artist Paint Pots. It's like about a 1 mile hike.
Yeah, something like that.
And that was really neat to see the paint pots.
Yeah, I love to hear them go plop, plop, plop.
Yeah.
It really did look like real thick paint that was just plopping up out of the ground.
And some of them were going up pretty high up in the air, the shooting up.
Yeah, it was a really neat morning just to
Yeah.
drive over here. We do have some fun things planned for today that we'll share with you as we kind of unfold throughout the day. First up again, we are at Norris Geyser Basin. We're going to hike here. It's 2.9 miles, a loop. Shouldn't be a whole lot of elevation change, and as usual with the geyser area, we should see a number of hydrothermal features like geysers and pools and springs, and so we're looking forward to it. Let's get moving.
Let's go.
Well, you can see some mountains off in the distance, and we do have an amazing hike to a summit planned for tomorrow, which we'll tell you about a little bit later.
Yeah, we don't want to get too excited about that yet because there's too much to see and do today.
That's right, that's right.
Just like yesterday's hikes, the surface is mixed. We have some boardwalks and some hard-packed dirt trail. Nothing technical at all, so it should be good for most people. And of course, there are lots of bubbling and eruptions and steam all along the way.
Yeah, the sounds are as big a part of the experience here as the views are.
That's true.
I will say that while this area is definitely a stop that you should make, I mean, it really doesn't compare to all the things that we saw yesterday and we showed you guys in that earlier episode from lower, upper, and midway Geyser Basin areas.
Yeah, it's not as colorful as Grand
It's
Prismatic
not.
and Morning Glory, and we haven't seen as big of an eruption as Old Faithful and some of those other geysers.
Yeah, and the water features aren't as concentrated in this area. You don't get as big a bang for your buck here. You see what I did there? Bang, you know, geysers, eruptions.
Yeah, I get it.
Still, I am glad that we came over.
Me too.
This is home to Steamboat Geyser, which we hear has some really impressive heights to its eruptions. I think it's the world's tallest active geyser, but those eruptions are very unpredictable.
Yeah, the last eruption was over a month ago.
Yeah, the eruptions can range from just a few days to decades between eruptions.
So it's unlikely we're going to see it erupt this morning, although it is blowing off some steam right now.
I was going to say, it is actually blowing some steam now. We may need to brace.
Right.
Well, we're about halfway through this trail loop, and we have seen some interesting features so far, haven't we?
Oh, so many springs and geysers. It is just amazing.
It's a little bit like an encore to yesterday. And so we saw just a ton of these things yesterday. And so we didn't want to miss out on this section. So we're kind of zipping through here a little faster because we got some other things that are different than what we saw yesterday that we really want to get in. But this is pretty spectacular too.
Yeah, but one thing that's not different from yesterday is the smell. It still smells bad.
It's still stinky. Still have to do this a lot. Crowds aren't as bad here as they were yesterday.
Right.
So that's good.
It is good.
But we still got a little bit more to see here, and then we'll take you to the next spot. So I'm really enjoying these sweeping views in the open areas where you can see just well off in the distance, because you get some colorful pools, you get that rising steam, trees, mountains, and you just get kind of the whole landscape all in one frame.
Yeah, that's something we love about this area, and a lot of the areas in Yellowstone is that you can get both the up-close views with one of those hydrothermal features and also see a bunch of them all at once.
Yeah, that's it. You get close-up and panoramic views. And to be honest, this is starting to look a little different than what we saw yesterday.
It is.
We might have to change our opinion on our earlier thoughts.
We really might.
Well, we've arrived at Porcelain Basin, and we stand corrected. This is completely different than what we saw yesterday.
Although there are a bunch of geysers and springs and the same kind of thing, it is a completely different landscape. It is beautiful. Both areas are definitely worth exploring.
Yeah, if you come to Yellowstone, you want to hit both areas of the park for sure. They are amazing, and while there are some similarities, there are enough differences that you don't want to miss out on either area.
I don't think there's anything else like this in the world. It's amazing.
People from around the world definitely come here. It is the world's largest supervolcano, and there is so much to see. I'm glad we're here.
Me too.
Well, we've made our way to the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone area of the park.
Yeah, and there are a bunch of different hikes that you can take to get views of Yellowstone Falls, and so we're going to take several of those and give you as many views as we can.
First up is the Brink of the Lower Falls. While it's only 3/8 of a mile down to the brink of the falls, and then 3/8 of a mile on the return trip, there's 600 feet of climbing on the way back up.
Yeah, it's pretty steep going down, so it's going to be a hard climb up. We're getting our first views of the river, and we can already hear the sound of the water rushing over the falls.
Yeah, and when we get to the falls, we're not going to record us talking because the water is going to be roaring, and we kind of want the water to speak for itself.
For now, seeing that river is worth the hike all by itself.
Just gorgeous views of the water. Well, here we go. Well, that is just awe-inspiring.
Oh my goodness, it is breathtaking, literally.
I mean, you are just right there on the brink of the falls.
And it is powerful.
And the sun is out, and so the colors are just popping of the canyon, the water below. I mean, it is just a 10 of 10.
It is really one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
It's amazing. Speaking of amazing, we've got an amazing hike back up.
Yeah, 600 feet in 3/8 of a mile, so it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be a bit of a climb back up, but we've got more stuff to see, so we're gonna have to get huffing and puffing.
That's right.
Up next, we're going to be exploring the north and south rims of the canyon, giving you additional views of the falls and the canyon itself.
Yeah, and every view is going to be gorgeous.
I mean, just look at what's behind us. It's already off to a good start.
It is.
So there are a number of places to park on both sides of the canyon, and the rim trail goes for miles, so you can explore at your own pace and for as little or as much time hiking as you want to.
Yeah, even just pulling over and walking for a few feet, you can get some amazing views.
Yeah, and as you can see, we're getting great views of the lower falls here. While we were on the brink of the falls, we got to see and hear the waterfall up close,
but only a part of it.
Yeah, from here you get to see all of the lower falls, and it's a beauty.
It really is, and the coloring of that canyon itself is just gorgeous.
Yeah, the views of the canyon are one of my favorite things that we've seen here at Yellowstone.
We say that a lot. This is one of my favorites, that's one of my favorites. I mean, they're all our favorites, right?
That's true. There's a lot to love about this park.
And while the Grand Canyon in Arizona is obviously much larger, what this park has going for it in its canyon is the view of the river and the falls that you can see from the rim trail.
You get all of it together, canyon, river, and falls.
So some of the sections we've hiked here on the rim trail are really flat and easy to navigate. And then there are some moderate sections and at least one strenuous section that was optional, but I did go ahead and take it, and it was a bit of work getting back up.
I didn't go on that part and stayed up top, but that's one of the things we love about the rim trail. You can do whatever you want in terms of length and effort.
Right. There is something for everyone, kids included.
Everyone except your pets, because they aren't allowed on the trail. So we've made our way along the rim to Artist Point, and from here we're getting an almost straight-on view of the lower falls.
Yeah, I can see why it's called Artist Point, because in addition to the gorgeous view of the falls, you've got this orange and pink coloring on the canyon, which is contrasted by lots of evergreen trees.
It always amazes me how those trees can grow out of the side of the rock and hard surfaces like that.
It is beautiful. It's also quite busy here, since Artist Point is one of the most iconic and most popular places in Yellowstone National Park. Well, we've arrived at the trailhead for the Brink of the Upper Falls. We're gonna let you guys decide which one has the best view, this one or the Lower Falls.
I'm gonna give this one a few extra points because it's a really short trail and not any climbing.
You haven't even seen it yet.
I know.
I'm going by just the beauty aesthetics only. I am not worried about how many steps I have to climb up or down in order to get to the brink of the falls.
Hey, that's okay, you do that.
We're gonna have to see who has the best judging and scoring system too.
Right.
This trail is only 3/10 of a mile, and it's really more like just walking out to an observation area rather than a full-on hike. So I can see why you're giving it some extra points here.
I knew you'd come around to my way of thinking.
I usually do. And as before, we're gonna let the water do most of the talking. All right, guys, so which one did you like better? The brink of the lower falls or the brink of the upper falls? We're gonna disclose our answers in just a second, so press pause on the video screen here and make your own selection. All right, we're assuming you pressed pause, made your own selection, or you have little interest in doing that and just want to hear what we're saying and get on with the rest of the video. Paula, which one did you like better?
I'm sticking by my choice of the lower falls. It was amazing.
Even though it had a whole lot more steps.
Yeah, but that canyon view all the way down with that river. Oh, that's right. I said the upper falls was mine.
You did.
Okay,
did.
I've changed my mind, and I'm gonna have to go with the lower falls.
I liked them both. I'm gonna give a slight nod to the lower falls.
Just a slight nod?
Just a slight nod because of the canyon views. I really, really liked the upper falls as well. They're both amazing and simply would be missing the mark to come to Yellowstone without seeing them both.
I agree.
It's been a long day. We just got back from Yosemite not long ago. Check that video out as well. Shameless plug. Well, for dinner tonight, we have something planned that's been on our bucket list for a long, long time.
Yeah, we're taking a wagon ride out to a chuck wagon dinner.
Should be a fun experience and some great food, and we're looking forward to it.
This Old West dinner cookout begins at the Roosevelt Corrals, where we'll get some instructions and board our chuck wagon for the 30 to 45 minute ride out to Pleasant Valley.
I am so excited.
Me too.
And hungry.
Yeah.
My name's Cody, I'll be your driver. We got Heather up here, she'll be your shotgunner. She'll be shooting some stories, jokes, facts, wildlife information.
It was quite a drive out here to the corral, so if you're not staying at nearby Roosevelt Lodge, you want to make sure you give yourself plenty of travel time to get here, especially when park traffic is high.
The wagon ride itself goes through sagebrush flats, and we may see some wildlife such as a buffalo.
We actually haven't seen any buffalo so far in our 2 days here.
Sure.
So that would be a welcome sight, right?
Speaking of sights, there should be some pretty scenery along our ride with some prairie views and mountains off in the distance.
And our wagon is covered and has padded bench seats, so we'll be as comfortable as possible going over the uneven ground of that stagecoach road.
When we get there, we'll have an opportunity after dinner to visit the horses, 2 of which pull each of these wagons.
Behind the wagon and wait to come see the horses until the second dinner bell rings.
Well, we made it out to our cookout location, and that was a fun, relaxing chuck wagon ride out, wasn't it?
It was. We saw a couple of buffalo, it's a beautiful landscape, beautiful mountains.
Now we want to see some beautiful food.
We do.
So they just rang the dinner bell, which means we can go get our grub.
I'm ready.
Me too. We'll tell you all about what food is being served, but this is an authentic Western meal. So us city slickers will be eating what the cowboys eat.
Did I mention I'm ready?
Are you saying less talking and more eating?
You're hitting me loud and clear.
This is the world famous cook,
Of course, yeah.
grill master.
Yes, that's me.
That's you.
Yeah.
I can just tell by the look on your face. A lot of experience over here.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk food.
We've got some 12-ounce steaks, coleslaw, potato salad, baked beans, chuck wagon corn muffins, watermelon and fruit crisp, along with soft drinks or tea.
The steaks are cooked to order and everything is just delicious.
It's really, really good food.
And I'm really impressed with the food and the whole experience out here.
Yeah, there's also a cowboy singing to us as we eat, so there's entertainment around the campfire.
You think they'll let me join in?
I don't know.
We'll have some storytelling later. It's really, really a fun experience out
I
here.
love it.
What do you think?
It's very good.
All right, so what do we need to do to approach them where they don't freak
I like
out?
to approach them like sideways, it's less
Sideways?
sniff you. Oh, really? And then pat on their nose.
Yeah, in Arizona, yes, sir. And a lot of these guys, so they're released out of Jackson Hole, the horses. Yep.
Unfortunately, it's time to head back.
The food was good, the beans were great, especially thank you for the steak. Yeah! Well, we got back to our campsite late last night, so we're kind of finishing this episode up this morning, but that was quite an experience with the chuck wagon dinner, wasn't it?
It was a lot of fun. The ride out and the food was really, really good.
It was delicious, everything about it. And there was quite a bit of food that they provided for you in your meal. So you were not going to be hungry at the end.
Right.
And then they did have a second dinner bell for some a second helping for those who wanted it, but we did not need it.
No.
There was plenty of food. It was about $80 each, something like that.
I think so.
For the adult ticket, which included about 3 hours. By the time you had the orientation and the ride out and the meal, we had some campfire singing and some storytelling time. It was just a really, really fun experience throughout the night. Highly recommend it if you're in the area. And we got that through the Roosevelt Corral. Forget what the company was. Xanterra, yeah. So check that out if you're interested in it. It was a lot of fun. We highly recommend it. Yesterday was just a fun day, wasn't it?
Oh, it was jam-packed with beautiful stuff.
We ran from early morning to late night. Really, we just had an amazing adventure all day long, didn't we?
Oh, we did. I love that canyon area with the waterfall. It was just gorgeous.
Yeah, the Brink of falls on both the upper and lower was just amazing.
It was stunning.
So much power and beauty combined in one space.
Yep.
And then the Norris Geyser Basin area was amazing as well.
Was.
We had a lot of fun there, saw a lot of interesting things throughout the day. We still have a little bit more that we want to share with you guys from Yellowstone, so hopefully you'll stick around for the next episode for that.
But for now, that's it for our mission. What's your mission?
We have seen a lot of interesting thermal.
And there are several hikes here that you can take to get different views of the. Something's on my hand.
Well, we've made our way to the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone area. In 3, 2, 1. Well, we've made our way to the Grand Canyon Good grief. So we've arrived at the trail.
I got it fly in my nose. Fly right up my nose. Okay, you're good. Yeah, we're gonna have a chuck wagon dinner.
Pretty exciting, right?
It is exciting.
We're gonna take a wagon ride out to a what?
I don't know where we're going.
Get this horn coming out of my head.
I'm not putting the horn in my head.
Hey, don't mess with me, woman.
Mine doesn't have a sharp voice.
Don't mess with me.
Howdy. Is my hat on? Is this hat good?
I hope so.
My hat straight?
I hope so. Don't you hold
Every episode. Every episode.
Every time.
Well, hey guys, it's Jimmy here. Our mission in every episode of this vlog is to share one of our fun-filled adventures with you guys. But our greater mission in life is to share our hope and happiness with you. One of the ways we do this is by giving away digital copies of my book, which we believe will help you in your own spiritual journey. You can get it at no cost by dropping by thereisgraceforyou.com and then clicking on the download button to read it on your favorite device. There's no list to join, no price to pay. It's just our way of trying to be a blessing to you. There are 40 short daily readings in the book that will take you about a minute each to read. So if you're interested in some positive messages to encourage you in your faith, I hope you'll check it out.